Today we will discuss about the Mendelian inheritance. Okay, so what is the inheritance? Inheritance can be defined as the process of how a child receives genetic information from the parent. Okay, and uh, whatever the genetic material you are obtaining from your parents, that is called as the inheritary material, or in this process is called as the inheritance. Okay, and due to this inheritance the member of the same family possesses the similar characteristic, right? So because of this gene, or because of this inheritary material, the members of the same family looking like similar. Okay, so that is called as the inheritance. Okay, and Mendel was the father of the genetics, who discovered several concepts about to understand the inheritance. Okay, and he did his major of the experiment in pea plant. Okay, because the pea plant can be easily grown and maintained, and it is naturally as well as the cross pollinated. Okay, and it is an annual plant, so in a very short duration of time he can perform so many experiments. So that's why one of the reason. And it has the several contrasting characters. Okay, like very the pea plant is having tall as well as large plant, sorry, small plant. It is having wrinkle seeds as well as the round seed, like that there are several contrasting character which is not very common in other plants, right? So these are the criteria why Mendel choose this pea plant, because it is a the major reason is the annual plant. Okay, it is a annual plant, like in yearly its life cycle get completed, so it can he can perform so many experiment in a very short period of the time. Okay, the other thing is the this pea plant can naturally self pollinated, as well as it can cross pollinated also. Okay, and the other thing is it is it can be easily grown, and it is having several contrasting characters. Okay, so Mendel conducted two main experiment to determine the law of inheritance. Okay, and these experiment are in based on monohybrid cross and dihybrid cross. Okay, so the monohybrid cross is when Mendel took the single characteristic. Okay, like here he took the suppose color of the seed. Okay, so suppose this is the uh, yellow color, and this is the green color of the seed. Okay, so what he found is in the F1 generation there is all the plant were tall, sorry, in yellow color. Okay, so it means the yellow the heterozygous F1 offspring produce two kind of the gamete. Okay, so two kind of the gamete, but it is having it is showing the single kind of the color, that is the yellow color. Okay, and when it self pollinate it self pollinated in the F2 generation, it produces 3:1 ratio of yellow to green seeds. Okay, so this is the here we can see that in the F2 generation there is two kind of the seed, one is the yellow and another one is the green. Okay, and the phenotypic to genotypic ratio was in the F2 generation, that is 1 raised to 2. The genotypic ratio is 1 raised to 2 raised to 1. Okay, because here the capital YY is in a single number. Okay, capital Y small y is in 2 in number. Okay, this one and this one, and another green one is the small one in number. So that's why the genotypic frequency is 1 raised to 2 raised to 1, but the phenotypic ratio is 3 raised to 1, because this 2 is also giving the yellow color, the heterozygous is also giving the yellow color. So that's why the phenotypic ratio is 3 raised to 1, but the genotypic ratio is 1 raised to 2 raised to 1. Okay, So in this monohybrid cross, what he found is, in the F1 generation, Mendel observed that all plants were tall and there is no drop plant. Okay, whereas he took the one parent as a drop, but in the F1 generation he didn't get any means drop plant. Okay, so from here he concluded that there is this yellow color is dominant in nature. That's why in the F1 generation, on all plant is having the yellow color. Okay, so in the F2 generation, Mendel observed that three of the offspring were tall, whereas one was the drop. Okay, and this similar type of result he observed in other studies also, where he checked the height of the plant. There also he got in F1 generation all plants were tall, and in the F2 generation there is 3:1 ratio of tall and drop. Okay, so like that he other studies also he found the same result. Then Mendel observed that in F1 generation the character of only one parent appeared, whereas in the F2 generation the character of the other parents also appeared. Okay, so the character that appeared in the F1 generation are called as the dominant trait, and those that appear for the first time in the F2 generation are called as the recessive trait. Like here in case of F1 generation, yellow color is appearing. Okay, so all the plant will be yellow color of F1 generation, so that is called as the dominant character. Okay, but in F2 generation there is also green color, so that is the recessive character, because it is present in very small in number, and F1 generation also this character is missing. Okay, so from here we can say that yellow color is the dominant one. Okay, so the second thing is, one of the another type cross he made is, that is called as the test cross. Okay, so test cross is a cross between an individual with an unknown genotype with a homozygous recessive genotype. Okay, so why he performed the test cross is, the test means in F1 generation you are getting all the plant which is having the yellow in color nature. Okay, but you don't know like what is the genotype of this plant, right? Because you can only see the phenotypic characteristic of any plant, right? Either it can be tall, either it can be yellow, either it can be round, like that. You can only observe the phenotypic character, you can't see like what is the genotypic character. So to identify like whether this plant is having the heterozygous dominant or the homozygous dominant, he performed the test cross. Okay, so in the condition 1, what he did is, when he crossed the dominant one. Okay, so dominant, suppose this plant, this F1 generation is having dominant characteristic as well as the homozygous dominant it is having, suppose. Okay, so if it is having homozygous dominant, means when it cross with the homozygous recessive one, then in the F1 generation it will only give in the F2 generation, because this is the F1 generation. Okay, so you just wanted to identify through test cross like your F1 generation plant is having the heterozygous genotype or the homozygous genotype. Okay, so this is the F2 generation. Okay, so in the if suppose it is the homozygous dominant, then in the F2 generation it will give you only the heterozygous plants. Okay, which is all tall in nature. Okay, if suppose this is heterozygous dominant, then when you cross with the homozygous recessive one, it will give you capital T small t and small t small t. Okay, so this will 50% it will give you the tall plant and 50% it will give you the drop plant. Okay, so from here you can through test cross you can identify like that the F1 generation is having the dominant means homozygous dominant or the heterozygous dominant. If it is having the homozygous dominant, it will give you the all F2 plant will be homozygous only. But in case of the, if suppose it is heterozygous, then here the 50% will be homozygous, and the 50% 50% will be your like dominant one, and 50% will be your drop one. Okay, because here two type of allele is there, dominant as well as the recessive. So when they will cross, they will make the 50% tall and 50% drop. Okay, so for to understand like what type of genotype is present on the F1 progeny, he performed the test cross. Okay, then he second type of cross he made is the dihybrid cross. Okay, so what is dihybrid cross? In a dihybrid cross experiment, Mendel considered two trait. Okay, like in case of the monohybrid cross, he considered only single type of trait. Okay, but here he considered two trait simultaneously. Okay, which is having two alleles. He crossed like wrinkle green seed and round yellow seed, um, and observe that all the first generation progeny were round and yellow. This means that dominant trait were round shape and yellow color. Okay, likewise in case of previous slide where we have seen that the yellow color was dominant. Okay, so when he performed the dihybrid cross, that time also he got in the F1 generation the dominant character only. Okay, so here when he performed this, this is the color gene. Okay, and this is the shape of the seed. Okay, so when he crossed two type of characteristic, like there is two type of characteristic, one is the seed shape and another one is the seed color. Okay, another one is the seed color. So when two type of trait when he is crossing, that time in the F1 generation, like in monohybrid cross, here also he is getting like all the dominant character. Okay, and in the F2 generation the recessive character will also produce. Okay, so he then self pollinated the F1 progeny and obtained four different type of trait, because here two trait is there, so that's why two type of drop means two type of recessive condition also will develop, right? So that's why here is the four different type of trait, two dominant, two recessive, right? There was only two type of character is there, one dominant, one recessive. Okay, because there is trait was single, here trait is double, so that's why four different type of trait is in the combination will be four. One is the round yellow, round green, wrinkle yellow and wrinkle green. Okay, so it is observed in 9 raised to 3 raised to 3 raised to 1. Okay, so this ratio also you have to remember. In many question point of view it has been asked, like in F2 progeny how what will be the genotypic characteristic. Okay, so that you have to remember. So here sorry, this is the phenotypic character. Okay, so here in the F2 generation what you are seeing is the round yellow. Okay, then round green, then wrinkle yellow and wrinkle green. Okay, so it is 9 raised to 3 raised to 3 raised to 1. Okay, this 9 is the dominating character which is having the yellow in color as well as round in shape. Okay, whereas these two are is having the both the things, like the recessive trait, and one is recessive trait and one from the dominant trait. Okay, and another one is the this one is the all the two trait will be recessive in nature. Okay, so when you cross like YR, small yr, okay, capital yr, small yr, then likewise here you will also when do, this is called as the Punnett chat. Okay, so it is very simple, like firstly you have to just divide these things. Here I am making you for you simple. Suppose this is one character. Okay, you have to cross with other character, that is the capital Y, sorry, yeah, small y it is. Okay, small y and small r. Okay, so firstly you have to cross these two allele with this one and this one. Okay, then again this one and this one, then this one and this one, like that you have to prepare this chart. Okay, capital Y capital R. Okay, capital Y capital R, small y capital R. Okay, small y capital R, then capital Y small r, then small y, capital small r. Okay, so like that this combination you have to prepare, and from here you have to identify like the phenotypic ratio of the F2 generation will be 9 raised to 3 raised to 3 raised to 1. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, so this is the dihybrid cross where he also got in F1 generation the dominant character, and in the F2 generation there is two type of four type of trait. One is completely dominant, another one is the combination of two dominant as well as the recessive, and the third one is the completely recessive. Okay, then there is several laws depend on this cross. Okay, so the first law of the Mendel is called as the law of dominance. Okay, so this is called as the Mendel's first law. According to this law of dominance, hybrid offspring will only inherit the dominant trait in the phenotype. Okay, and the allele that are suppressed are called as the recessive trait, while the allele that determine the trait are known as the dominant trait. Okay, so as we have earlier seen that when parent is having the pure line means either it is having the dominant character, or it is having the completely recessive character, so that is called the pure line or the parent generation. Okay, so when they cross together in F1 generation, always the dominant will appear. Okay, so that is called as the law of dominance, because dominant character will inhibit or suppress the character of other type of allele. So which is getting suppressed, that is called the recessive gene, and which is getting overexpressed, that is called the dominant gene. Okay, so in F1 generation the dominant character will only able to see, so that is called the law of dominance. Okay, in the second law of Mendel suggests that law of independent assortment state that a pair of traits segregated independently of another pair during gamete formation, as the individual heredity factor assort independently, different traits get equal opportunity to occur together. Okay, like in case of the here in the dihybrid cross, when we are seeing these two type of trait is having equal chance to cross with these two type of the trait, right? So they are not merging with each other. Okay, so these two type of trait is having equal chance to means cross with these two type of trait, and as well as the vice versa. Okay, so here the each character trait is not like means it is not uh, suppressing by the other character. Okay, it is suppressing by the same character, but it can't be suppressed by the other type of trait, right? Like we can't say like round shape is suppressing the yellow color of the trait. Okay, so there is the equal chance thousand of type of character you can simultaneously cross, and according to that the offspring or progeny will produce. Okay, so it is called as the independent assortment, where each trait or each gene is having the capability to cross with other type of the trait. Okay, equal chance it is having. Then third law is called as the law of segregation. Okay, so law of segregation suggested that during the production of gamete, two copies of each hereditary factor segregated so that offspring acquire one factor from each parent. In other words, if we will see, the alleles pairs segregated during the formation of gamete and reunite randomly during fertilization. This is known as the Mendel's third law of inheritance, that is called as the law of segregation. Okay, so law of segregation suggested what? Suppose this is having two alleles. Okay, two alleles of dominant gene. Okay, capital W and capital W, and it is having suppose small w and small w. Okay, so two allele it is having. Okay, so each in F1 generation when these two this F1 generation is having now capital W and small w. Okay, so this is segregating during the like gamete formation, it is segregating, and once it is suppose this combination is present in one gamete and another gamete is also having same type of gamete, so now then they will cross and produce a complete zygote which is having the two allele itself. Okay, so in the law of segregation suggested that the allele pair segregated during the formation of gamete. Okay, so this pair of gamete which is this pair of alleles which is present on the zygote again segregated when to produce the gamete, and they again reunite randomly during the fertilization. Randomly, why? Because here what type of genetic combination is there, you don't know. Okay, so it is having the equal chance to cross with each type of the allele, right? So that's why it is random reunite during the fertilization and it will form the complete gamete. This is called the this is known as the Mendel's third law of inheritance. Okay, so that is the law of segregation. Law of dominance suggested that in F1 progeny only dominant character will be appear. Okay, and independent assortment is suggesting that each type of trait is having equal capability to cross with each type of the another trait. And law of segregation is suggesting that the allele is segregating during the formation of gamete, and while formation of zygote it is again reunite with random process. Okay, so that is called as the law of segregation. So this is the complete principle of inheritance. Okay, so or we can say that it is the summary of the this class. Okay, so reason of the selecting pea plant, because it is easy to grow and maintain. Several distinct character is there. It is an annual plant and it can naturally as well as natural self pollinated, and it can cross pollinated also. Okay, and there are 7 character in the pea plant. Okay, which is contrasting to each other. Okay, like purple, white, tall, short, yellow, green, round, wrinkle, green, yellow, inflated, constricted, then axial and terminal. Okay, so these are dominant trait and these are the recessive trait. Okay, then Mendel experiment cross pollinated two pure line for contrasting characteristic to obtain the F1 generation. Okay, and self pollinated F1 generation that give rise to F2 generation. Okay, so cross pollination will happen in F1 generation. Okay, where you cross the tall and dwarf as well as means like other characteristic, it will give you the F1 generation where all plant will be tall, and F2 generation when you self cross this tall plant to tall plant, then it will give you three plant will be tall. Here wrongly written. Okay, here tall, three plant will be tall and one plant will be short if it is present as a heterozygous condition. Okay, so this will be the result. So from here genes exist as a allele that pass from parent to offspring, that is called as the law of segregation. Okay, and homozygous will be two. If the two allele will be same, then it is called as the homozygous. If the two allele is different, one is tall and one is recessive, then it is called as the heterozygous. Okay, and dominant gene represented by the capital T and recessive gene represented by the small t. Okay, the phenotypic character, which is we can physically observe physical appearance of any kind of the thing, is called as the phenotypic character, and genotypic character is the genetic makeup. Like as we seen here in the monohybrid cross, if you will see the genotypic frequency of this yellow color is 1:2:1. Okay, because 2 yellow is having heterozygous condition and one yellow is having completely dominant character, that is capital Y. Okay, so but this three, all the three plants is giving the yellow color. Okay, so the genotypic frequency is different, that is 1:2. Okay, this is 2 and this is 1, but this all three plant is giving the yellow color, so that's why genotypic frequency can be changed. Okay, so the genotypic frequency is actual genetic makeup of its, and phenotypic characteristic is like it is more influenced with the dominant character. Okay, so dominant character can be heterozygous also, homozygous also, right? So that's why the physical appearance is called as the phenotypic characteristic, and genetic makeup is called as the genotypes. Okay, and there is 50% of chance of either allele to fuse with other parent to form zygote. Okay, so this is the law of inheritance. Okay, law of dominance, where the dominant in the F1 generation dominant plant will occur. Okay, in the law of segregation, two alleles do not mix when they come together in a hybrid pair and are independent of each other. Okay, so suppose their parents is having two alleles, and in the offspring, in the F1 generation offspring, each allele will come from each parents. Okay, so it will produce the zygote here, that is having capital T small t. Okay, so this zygote will be having capital T small t, and its parents is also having two alleles, but from two alleles it is passing only one allele to its offspring. Okay, either of the one offspring. Okay, then law of independent assortment tell us that one trait can be independently crossed with the another type of the trait. Okay, so that is the three different type of laws. Okay, so regarding that, one question has been asked. A heterozygous tall plant was crossed with a homozygous drop plant. The resultant seeds were collected. If 5 seeds are chosen at random, then the probability that exactly 2 of this seed will yield drop plant is. What will be the correct answer? The correct answer will be 31.25%. It is 31.25%. Okay, so how you got the 31.25%? Like
Ma'am, binomial expansion
yes,
is
yes,
used in this case.
yes. So there is a formula NCR. Okay, so it is equal to n factorial divided by uh, n minus r factorial. Okay, that is the r factorial into AS and BT. Okay, so this is n factorial is the event, how many time it should be occurred. Okay, so that is the 5 seed. Okay, so there is 5. Okay, total number of the seed is 5. Okay, so that will be the thing, and n minus r will be your, like, r is the what probability you need. Okay, so that is 5 minus uh, you need two drop plant. So yeah, two drop plants, right? So there will be minus. Okay, into a will be your suppose there is two chance. Yeah, firstly I will make this table, then you will be understand. Okay, so it is the monohybrid cross. Okay, so it is having capital T, small t is crossing with small t, right? So this t will cross with this t, it will make small t. Okay, and here capital T small t, and here small t. Okay, so the chances is 50-50%, right? So it will be 1 by 2, right? So A is having chance of 1 by 2. Okay, 1 by 2. A means here it is the tall plant, suppose. Okay, and B is the drop plant. There is two type of scenario, right? And it is asking about the drop, so that's why sorry, this tall plant is having a chance of half, okay, and it can be um, from the event. If suppose 2 will be drop plant, then obviously 3 will be your tall plant, right? And this is the half, so it will be also half, and 2 drop plant you needed, right? So you understood this formula or not? Like this is the n is the total event, okay? So 5 seeds you are having. From 5 seed you need 2 drop plants, so that's why 5 minus 2, okay? And here also, 2 drop plant is also you needed, right? So here 2 factorial will also come, okay? Then you are having a tall plant event as well as the drop plant event, okay? So when you say drop plant, you needed two seeds should be drop plant, okay? So the probability of drop plant is 50%, that is 1 by 2, okay? And it should be two seed, okay? So remaining will be 3, okay, which will be having the tall plant, okay? So that's why half 3 into half 2, okay? And here 2 drop plant you needed, so that's why there is 5 minus 2, okay? And this is the drop plant will be there. So what will be the answer will come? 4 into 3, okay, factorial, divided by here 3 factorial into 2 factorial, okay? And here 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, then 1 by 2, total 5 1 by 2 will come, right? So when you solve this 3 will cancel, and here it will 2, when you do this it will come 10, right? So 10 divided by 2 2 ja 4, 4 2 ja 8, 8 2 ja 32, 32 ja 64, right? I think something I have missed. Yeah.
Ma'am, 2 के power 5 32.
Yeah, sorry. It will be 32, right? So when you solve this, it will give you the 31.25. Correct? Correct? Doing right or wrong?
Yes, ma'am, it is correct.
Into 2 into 2 into 2. Yeah. 10 divided by 32. It will give you 31.25%. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is based on the probability formula, where this n is the total event, okay, divided by whatever number you want. You have to just subtract that number from the total event into then factorial of the your choice of the event, then into the different types of the event is having what type of chance you require, okay? So suppose we are having 5 seeds, so 5 factorial divided by, we need 2 seed which is having drop in nature, so 5 minus 2 factorial. Then you need a drop plant which is having 2 in number, so 2 factorial again, you have to multiply, then you have to multiply with the total different type of events you are having, and what is the probability of that event occur, okay? So this is the complete formula. When you solve this, you will get 31.25%, okay?